For some, Sony Spider-Verse, and for some, Venomverse. Whatever the case may be, I think we'll be saying for everyone here that we cannot wait to see Venom versus Spider-Man to finally happen. And what other place than the so-called Venomverse, right? Well, this is the reason why I am here today, to tell you all about the Venomverse and what a universe of that scale could look like moving forward. And without further ado, let's dive right in. A lot of eyebrows have been raised regarding the Sony and Marvel deal and the sharing of the characters. Ones that belong to Marvel in the general sense, but also the same ones that Sony has the rights for, with the latter agreeing to let Marvel use one of the proudest characters of Sony, Spider-Man, in all iterations of him. Whether we are talking about one from an alternate timeline, or someone like Miles Morales. So now, with the arrival of a third Venom movie, after the first two movies proving more than successful, in order for us to get a third movie, and then already confirmed Spider-Man trilogy for Marvel, what is there to be told in the so-called Sony Spider-Verse, or as many like to call it, Venomverse? Two names used for the same thing. But being a big fan of Venom myself, I will stick to the latter, the Venomverse, which is why I am here today, to tell you everything I managed to find out about it and give you a first look into things. But before I move forward, I should warn you that there will be spoilers up ahead regarding the already released movies and the ones to come that will supposedly be part of the previously mentioned Venomverse. And with that out of the way, let me continue. The sleeper of 2018 was definitely the Venom movie, which, despite not faring well with the critics, the audience saw it as a huge success, with the movie itself being a great origin story. An introduction of a character that is not so famous among many fans of the superhero genre, and Tom Hardy's portrayal of the lead character was no shortage of why the movie panned out the way it did. The sequel followed, which had a little shorter runtime, but it looks like it was just enough for us to get to the aforementioned third Venom movie that will take part in the Venomverse, along with Spider-Man and the upcoming trilogy planned. Now, I don't know what will happen in the upcoming movies, or whether all of this is true. However, seeing where things are headed, it looks like the Venomverse will be the place where Spider-Man and Venom will hit that like button just like you should if you haven't done so already. But no, in reality, the Venomverse will probably be the place where the clash between the two will happen, with all of us getting one of the most long-awaited battles to finally get played out. Now, as part of the Venomverse,
You will only hurt bad people.
The way I see it, we can do whatever we want.
outside of Venom, other projects that have been rumored of taking place in the Venomverse are the already released Morbius movie. That was probably the least profitable outing from Sony, as well as the insanely hyped Kraven the Hunter movie that should release on the 6th of October in 2023. Of course, this is the official date set for the movie, a subject that can change at any given moment, which means that along with everything I said about the Venomverse so far, and the information about this movie should be taken with a grain of salt by your side, as everything is a subject of change, and nothing is concrete as of yet. And if all becomes true, then you would have heard it here first. While I am on the Venomverse side of things, Tom Hardy also had a few things to say about his third movie with the character. He said that considering just how much the story has expanded over the course of the two movies so far, the third one will likely branch out even more and occupy a much bigger universe, a journey that would lead his character to come face to face with the likes of Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. According to Tom Hardy, the growth of the multiverse will play a huge part in what will supposedly come in the third Venom movie, with all kinds of lore and mythology waiting to be explored in this new universe, made by the events that have already taken place, as well as the ones to come, both in the MCU and the Venomverse, where we will see Tom Holland's Spider-Man participate in due to still unknown reasons. I know, the battle is probably the most hyped part of the upcoming third Venom sequel, something that might not even happen, but I think it will be the central, most integral part of the upcoming movie, as well as something that will factor in the Spider-Man trilogy. So yeah, it's that important. Ever since Sony released the first standalone Venom back in 2018, despite the movie not being connected to the wider MCU, both fans of Sony and Marvel have been waiting for Venom vs. Spider-Man. and the more recent post-credit scene of the Spider-Man movies have showcased Venom jumping from one universe to another, which added up to the hype of the two of the biggest characters of Sony and Marvel to clash, leaving fans to wonder as to just how big of a spectacle the entire thing will be. Ever since the start, the fans have been asking the same question: when will the two meet each other? Well, I think we are closer than ever, with all of the latest news pointing towards that direction, with the only thing left in the equation being the timing of everything. Plus, the second Venom movie checked out yet another big enemy of Venom, Carnage, and there is simply no other foe than Spider-Man for the likes of Venom to face next, making it clear that something is brewing at Sony and Marvel Studios. One other option, a rumor that has been circling around, is the news that another version of Spider-Man could be used in the Venom 3 movie, particularly Andrew Garfield's version of the character. That said, I think Sony and Marvel would benefit more if the two characters come together, with actors who are established in their roles in the present, something that would bring a lot of money for the two studios, which could eventually be one of the main reasons why Sony and Marvel will smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. But in reality, it would be the biggest reason for the two studios to make the decision to use Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the mix together with Tom Hardy's Venom at the end. Either way, the time is near for the two to face off on the big screen in these new incarnations, which is something the audiences will continue to ask for until it finally comes true. Something that would bring joy to the fan base of both characters, as well as more and more people interested in this mysterious Venomverse, a universe we know close to nothing about, outside of the already established characters supposedly within it, including the likes of Venom and Morbius, as well as Kraven's arrival in a year's time. There are also some obstacles Sony and Marvel will have to deal with. First and foremost, the villain Spider-Man has, outside of the infamous Sinister Six, a list that is not entirely great without Venom in it. Then there are Spider-Man's alternate and legacy characters like Gwen, Miles Morales, and many others who could potentially make the jump and join the Venomverse as well. They're to spoil things, and if not used properly, be the downfall of the Venomverse. As for the Sinister Six, well, we got a somewhat similar incarnation of the team in the latest Spider-Man No Way Home movie, but it was not the real deal. There have been rumors about the group getting assembled in a standalone movie, which could then get interpreted into the Venomverse. And if that happens, then we could be looking at a full-blown clash, much like the one in the comics, where all of the Spider-Man characters, both heroes and villains, will participate in the events to come, which could also bring about the joint forces of Venom and Spider-Man against the greater threat, something that has already happened in the Marvel Comics, and something I would wish to see happen in the near future. See you in the next video.